Thank you. Well, now, you remember that I said that one of the common aspects of all these solutions is some of them are retroactive. They're just going back to the past. They're not some kind of wild new scheme, but they're saying, let's roll back the clock. Let's get rid of the president. Let's roll back to 400 BC. Okay, and here, on the question of drugs, you just roll all the drug laws in Greece back to 1915. There's nothing radical about this, nothing wild, nothing new. Get that clear. We're just going back to where we were.
It's old-fashioned.
Yeah. Absolutely. We were, you know, it's a very logical thing to say we fucked up, we were better at such a point in the past, right? So Greece says everybody's gone ahead with all this drug war. We're going back to 1915, pre-drug war, okay? You can possess anything in Greece. Because in 1915 you could possess anything in Greece. And the streets were not full of drug addicts. People were not crawling around stoned out of their minds. And in America, in 1915, the same thing. You could go down to the local pharmacy and get a shot of cocaine. They called it Coca-Cola. It was a brown, dark syrup. And they put it, it was so awful to drink, they put it in a little carbonated water for you. And they had little paper cups, and that's how the soda fountain was born. But people would, in the afternoon, go over and get a shot of Coke and then go back to work, right? Or maybe two. But there weren't Coke users going around holding people up, right? There weren't people, you know, shooting each other over kilos of Coke and all that. You could buy Coke in any pharmacy. So in Greece, you simply say, drug laws 1915. Anything you want, we got it, okay? Obviously, if a super dangerous drug like heroin, you might need to have a prescription, whatever, but it's available. Everything's there, right? This idea that the government or a group of people you don't know have the right to tell you what and when you can ingest things, what you can eat, what you can smoke, what you can drink, that someone else at the government, that's the government's business. When did that idea come around? 1915, that's when. 1915. Before that, the only kind of drug fight was for excise tax on whiskey. There were almost wars on that subject. But the idea that, you know, we can tell people what they can imbibe, right? It's so stupid. All right, so, and I have to tell you on this subject, when I was living in Frankfurt, I used to go up to Holland, well, once every couple of months and have a smoke up there, because I like to smoke. And one time I took an American friend with me from Frankfurt up to Holland, and we were sitting in a bar, and we'd had a smoke, and she said to me, I'm not going back to Frankfurt with you, right? Now, there was drugs in Frankfurt. This had nothing to do with drugs. They call them drug tourists in Holland, but they're not drug tourists, they're freedom tourists. You can get drugs in Frankfurt. You can buy hashish down at the McDonald's on the street, right? You don't go to Holland for drugs. You go there for freedom. So people won't come to Greece for drugs. It's not going to be drug tourists coming to Greece. It's going to be freedom tourists who want to come to a country which is pre-drug laws, right? Before people were persecuted for imbibing things or smoking things or shooting things. Just take Greece back to there. And immediately your tourism's going to double. Because there is freedom in Greece. Not because there are drugs in Greece. There's drugs everywhere. There's freedom in Greece where you can go in and use a drug and without the cops coming through the door, without anybody treating you badly, right? So imagine how it's going to improve just the concept of freedom in Greece. Governments want to create freedom. Now, this is real freedom. Eat and drink and imbibe what you want, you know. You want to take antibiotics, take them. Right? Really? Well, they think people are going to take 10 times the right dose of antibiotics if they let them without a doctor? come on, people are going to look it up on the web and do it right. So that, plus, remember, now in the new Greece, you've got the government dispensary right by the pharmacy. So on the way into the pharmacy, you stop into the dispensary. Say how much, I got a toothache, what should I be taking, and so on. So now you take a load off of the doctors, and they can spend more time with each patient, get a better job with the patients they got. And here you've got a new idea coming in here, which is the alternate system, the extra road. One of the big mistakes they make in the computer business, they replace a program with another program, right? Oh, where'd all my commands go, right? No. You always want to add on, okay? So here we've added on another way to get something done. A second road, to take the traffic off of the first road, if you wish, right? By sending a percentage of people through the dispensaries, then our doctors do a better job. They don't have appointments to tell you to go get some drug tests. See, those appointments are gone. Things like that. So you have it's an alternative medical path there. But so much more efficient.